In Hollywood, their names can make celebrities and moguls stand at attention. To moviegoers, they're better known than many of the stars on the screen. Who are they? They are the film critics Gene Siskel and Roger Ebert. And they're so popular that how they feel about some movies can have quite an impact at the box office. But as you'll see in Lynn Scher's report, what makes these guys such a hot act is not only what they say, but how they say it to us, and more importantly, to each other.
Chicago, 9:30 a.m. The gladiators are entering the arena. You are about to witness a showdown.
But that's not fair, because I got you. You see,
didn't get me.
You can sit around.
Score one for Gene Siskel in his weekly face-off with his television partner and professional adversary, Roger Ebert. They're here to tape their popular TV show about movies. Perhaps you recognize their thumbs, the ones they've made famous with their TV reviews.
2 thumbs up for Steve Martin's
Up means they
Roxanne.
liked the movie. Down means they didn't. On that much they agree. Most everything else gets the duel of egos going all over again.
Where did the thumbs idea come from?
Boy, I don't remember.
I came up with that idea. And before me, the Romans.
Off camera, both men are movie critics for competing Chicago newspapers. Siskel's with the Tribune, Ebert the Sun-Times. And in a city where journalism wars mean going for the jugular, these two began their own private battle.
It's been my mission since I was 23 years old to beat him. That's 18 years ago. He is the one person in Chicago that I must destroy in print.
We didn't speak to each other at all the first 9 years that we knew each other, before we started doing the show. We were film critics here in Chicago. We would walk to the screenings together, walk into the screening rooms, probably side by side, go up and down in elevators without ever exchanging a word. And then they asked us if we would like to do this show with each other, and my original response was no. What do I have to do a show with Gene Siskel for? I can do a show all by myself.
The name of our show is opening soon at a theater near you. And this is Roger Ebert, the film critic from the Chicago Sun-Times.
And right over here is Gene Siskel, the film
They premiered on public television in 1975. At the time, both had more hair and less taste in clothes. But it was a beginning.
When we come back, we'll review Men Out of the
Today,
Spring.
the format that Siskel and Ebert pioneered, a half-hour show consisting only of movie reviews, has become so successful it's been copied by other teams. And a thumbs-up review from them is coveted by movie makers as a way to help guarantee crowds. Here's how the show works. Each movie review opens with a clip. Then one guy gives his opinion.
and reminded me more of World War II war movies than of the Special War in Vietnam.
What follows is what really counts. Siskel and Ebert call it crosstalk.
See, not a bad movie, but it's not original and it's not a masterpiece.
Oh, I think it's very original and very close to being a masterpiece. I mean,
In fact, it is unscripted, unrehearsed, unmitigated war.
and then when I see a sniper go on an American and Kubrick has his camera push in, I feel for the first time people getting attacked.
That is a cliche, Gene. I mean,
No.
when I saw that push, I was so disappointed in Kubrick. This whole sequence is taken right out of absolutely routine grade B Republic,
Roger,
World War II war movies of guys running out there to try to save their buddy and somebody else shooting at them.
I have never felt a kill in a movie quite like that.
Depending on the movie, the war can escalate.
If we had gotten down to Louisiana faster, I think the film would have paid off
Yeah,
faster.
but I don't think you want television.
No,
let's hurry up and tell the story. Let's get it over. I want to know what happened.
Don't lay it on me that I want television. You know I don't want television any more than
fine.
you do.
Well, in that case, I'm sorry you have to be on this show.
It felt to me as if you were putting him down in a very real way. That wasn't acting. You were really putting him down.
We have real arguments. When you disagree on a movie, you're not disagreeing on the movie, you're disagreeing on who you are. You see, if I don't like a movie, and he does, then I'm not saying, you know, that the movie is flawed or that the movie isn't flawed. I'm saying that he's flawed. There's a flaw in his character that makes him like that movie. And so basically it's a very personal thing.
What about the movie? Yeah, what about the dialogue? What about the characters? What about the world?
There is sometimes hostility. We are sometimes extremely angry with each other. And this is based upon the fact that we are completely incompatible in terms of our personalities.
Roger has a style about him that drives me crazy. I have described him as a party unto himself.
I mean, to him, competition is absolutely the beginning and the end of the day. And I occasionally take a few hours off. I like to tell jokes or something.
I know all of his jokes. I can do all of his jokes. And then the laughter that he supplies in case anyone else doesn't laugh. He now is calling me robo-critic. And he said, this is robo-critic. This is my opinion. He thinks I'm so stiff and proud, you know. And, you know, he's, by comparison, a bowl of Jell-O. You know, he's a Pillsbury Doughboy of criticism. I mean, you know, just touch that little button, he'll give you a little laugh, and he loved the little movie.
And it's a terrific performance,
yes.
And it's a good movie.
Yes.
The truth is, the Doughboy and Robo-Critic often do agree on movies, and their blunt, sensible comments have made them real people viewers trust. With an audience of some 5 million for more than 200 film reviews a year, they're among the most watched movie critics on the air.
Do you care that you have influence on whether a movie does well or not?
I'm delighted if it has an influence. And why shouldn't I be? Who am I going to let influence people? The ad agencies? That's the alternative. Look at all the full-page ads. You see a double-page ad for Nuts and Barbra Streisand? Go. And boy, are you going to be disappointed.
Now, which movies did we lose? Leonard Part 6 is out.
And Overboard.
But despite their shared sense of responsibility to the public, they see most every encounter with each other as a chance to disagree.
How about this?
I don't think I would go that way.
This time, it's a production meeting to determine the lineup of next week's half-hour show.
I have a feeling Moonstruck should go first and Eddie Murphy should go last because it's basically a concert video.
This is the way I think I would go.
No, you still should have Eddie Murphy last in September, up higher.
No, I think you tease it into holding it.
But are you aware that September is the Woody Allen picture?
Yes.
Don't you think there are more people interested in the new Woody Allen picture than in a concert video of Eddie Murphy?
I think they're interested in Eddie Murphy.
And here's the preferred order.
Right. And this is
At least preferred by me.
I didn't hear a single person vote for your running order. Maybe my can was fizzing too loudly.
I think your can is often fizzed too loudly.
Okay.
In a nation that loves football games and the Honeymooners reruns, their verbal scrimmages and constant bickering have helped make Siskel and Ebert pop stars. They've shown up on late-night TV talk shows and are the only movie-reviewing duo immortalized in clay.
No, I give this one thumbs up.
Hey, I wouldn't give these guys a job.
Well, perhaps a bit dated.
But nice visual.
A stylistic mishmash.
Which is why I liked it.
And I hated it.
Are you concerned that the team is better known than Gene Siskel all by himself?
It doesn't bother me. I mean, if people know me as the guy who works with that other guy, that's how I like to refer to him, the other guy, then so be it. That's okay.
The fact that I'm linked with this guy is sometimes very frustrating because I do not think of myself as part of a team. I think of myself as a complete, self-contained film critic, one-stop shopping.
Roger Ebert is the only newspaper movie critic to have won a Pulitzer Prize. He's also written books about film, teaches a course in film criticism, contributes reviews to a local Chicago television station, and has spent enough time at the Cannes Film Festival to be greeted like an equal by the film stars.
Is this as much fun as it looks like?
I don't know. I guess it is. How are you doing?
When did you buy your house?
A bachelor at age 45, Ebert is, according to Siskel, the more natural writer. As relaxed as a rumpled raincoat, he lives with 2 cats and an eclectic collection of art in a 3-story Victorian brownstone. By contrast, Gene Siskel seems more controlled. He's confined his career to the syndicated show, his newspaper columns, and a 13-year stint as movie critic on the opposing local TV station.
We're the only ones that have that footage.
Ebert calls him the more aggressive partner, dogged in trying to scoop the competition as he lines up his next interview.
We went over and this whole thing...
That's an interesting story about...
At 42, Siskel lives with his wife Marlene, who's his former TV producer, and their 2 small daughters in a dramatic contemporary Chicago co-op.
This is One of my treasures. Yeah.
Amidst the formal decor, one of his favorite possessions is a bit of movie memorabilia he bought at auction.
I could never fill this suit.
The three-piece white suit actor John Travolta wore in the movie Saturday Night Fever.
This is an object unto itself.
Siskel's obsession with the suit and the movie is rooted in his unabashed passion for movies in general. And that passion is shared by his partner.
What is it about movies that you love so much?
I love the fact that it takes me out of my body, that it takes me out of my mind. You know, you read in the National Enquirer about, you know, people in Ohio who leave their bodies and they go in a spaceship to Mars, you know, and then they come back and they tell their story. That's what the movies can give you, an out-of-the-body experience.
Then take it even deeper. The lights go down. The light comes from behind your head. You're in a dreamlike state. You're looking up at a screen. It's bigger than you. You get lost in the world of the screen.
Now. He's looking at you, kid.
Who couldn't love that?
The world's baldest film critic.
The world's latest film critic. What was the matter? McDonald's was open?
You're only here on time because you're late for the previous screening.
The sniping stops when the lights go down in the screening room. And the reviews that will follow have linked Siskel with Ebert in the public's mind forever. In that order.
Why is the show Siskel and Ebert? And by the way, will it ever be Ebert and Siskel?
No.
You've signed on to Siskel and Ebert.
There's a long story about that, a long story. You know, I'm older. I've been a movie critic longer. E comes before S in the alphabet. I've got the Pulitzer Prize, and yet it's called Siskel and Ebert. And if you want to know why that is, you can ask Siskel.
Flip of the coin. It was a flip of the coin. I would have been more than willing to have it be Ebert and Siskel, but it will never be that way.
Why? You're willing. You're both very well known right now.
Yeah. No, it's just, it's known as Siskel and Ebert, and so it'll probably stay
You don't
that
think
way.
it could be known as Ebert and Siskel?
Nah, it'd never work.
Maybe not. But Siskel and Ebert wouldn't work either if their hostility excluded all other feelings.
Roger's a tad brighter than Gene.
That's right.
And while the competition keeps them both sharp, it turns out that's founded in mutual respect and even, dare we say it, affection.
It's kind of like a marriage or like a sibling rivalry. And it goes into phases. There'll be a couple of weeks in which we practically can't stand the sight of each other. Then a couple of weeks in which we're co-conspirators against the rest of the world. And it's gone on like this for 11 years. You know, there are times when I can't stand him, but I don't know what I'd do without him.
Roger is honest and a good critic, and that's the most important thing. And if I ever needed him for a personal reason, he would be there for me. Still, he drives me crazy.
What are you wrapping yourself in the flag of the sophisticated film critic who's seen it all?
No, boredom. Boredom with Benji running.
So it's not fair for you to compare this to every first shot. And it pushes in.
The whole thing off.
You know, Lynn, they're so entertaining that even if you never go to the movies, you want to watch them.
And you know why that is, by the way? It's because they don't talk right to camera. They don't preach at us. They are talking to each other, and we are eavesdropping.
So you feel as if you're hearing very special things. Lynn, how much power do they actually have? Can they make or break a movie the way the newspaper critics in New York can make or break a Broadway show?
Well, you know, the studio executives don't believe that. They say that a Siskel and Ebert review is certainly desirable, but that's because in conjunction with other reviews, they can legitimize a film because they reach such a broad segment of the public. And, by the way, they can help with a small movie.
In the final analysis, we are each film critics. I like Barbra Streisand and I like not. So you pays your money and you take your choice. Thank you, Lynn.
Well, next, it happens without their even realizing it. Parents shattering their children's self-esteem. Stone Phillips reports words can be how we turn our kids away. Stay tuned for this.
Have you ever said this to your child?
Don't you understand? I've had a bad day. I'm trying to read the paper.
Lashing out. What's normal? How much is too much? Stone Phillips reports how we turn our kids away when 2020 continues.
Anesthesia that's in your hands.
plus an aerobics workout that is appealing and beneficial to men, and the pros and cons of becoming a vegetarian on The Health Show Saturday.
Good sense.
Parenting Our Parents, Sunday at 6 on Town Hall.